I wonder if I know anything about these super robots. Hello, and welcome to PlebPla, wherein we only build the hand of a giant robot. We don't need the rest of it. This is the Hand of Zeus from Giant Black Robot Hand of Zeus. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, let's get to the review. This is actually Mazinger Z with the God Scrander, which is probably not written on here in very English at all. What am I saying? Words are hard all of a sudden. But it wouldn't be PlebPla without me stammering like an idiot. So, let us begin by beholding the rest of the manual. Before we get to handling this properly, I want to put on a pair of gloves because there is something incredibly surprising about this Mazinger. We're going to get down up in here because it has a very proprietary action base and try to separate the base from the stand itself. There we go. And to the best of my ability, this is a very high gloss black plastic, and the entire build process, nub marks and all, I didn't want to really sand it or handle it without gloves because it's so shiny, and that's why you see these very powerful nub marks right here along the seat. It does have a very specific action base adapter right here, and it will go into your action base 1s, and of course the action base 4 and 5, but if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to borrow from my Extreme Gundam and see if, alas, not compatible action base 2, which is my preferred action base even with the advent of everything that we have nowadays. So, action base aside, we have a very strange transformation. Mazinger Z from Shin Mazinger Impact Z Head, or this Mazinger Z Edition Z Impact. Mazinger Edition Z Impact? I'm not sure how that's written. I remember the Japanese name particularly being Shin Mazinger Z Shogeki Z Head. That aside, I'm going to do my best to remember how to do this without the instructions. So we're going to not do that because that's immediately wrong. Yeah, peel this apart here. Back here we have a hinge that is for the thumb. Swing that back around and let that return to being a tail. Now this thumb is got several joints on it, one here to swing it out. Also rotates. A ball and very bad socket joint here, so you do get some movement, but unless you're babysitting it, you're gonna pop that off super easy. Less so here at the thumb, much you get less movement out of that. Once again, you're seeing nub marks because I don't want to sand this down. I don't want to gouge and cut into it, so it's going to suffer. And then up here you have your regular hinge. So with that in place here, and it kind of snap fits right in place. I'm going to pull that aside because that's just going to make me angry. We'll take these two fingers here, pull them up, and we're going to go ahead and pull these out as well. So we can continue opening it up. And of course you start seeing Mazinger properly. That is also an actual problem with the kit. Something I'm glad that happened because I do want to show it up. Because again, this is a ball and socket joint on a rounded edge. So it doesn't really sit in the right place. And once we're back here, I have to remember how to do this. There's a little clasp. If you're familiar with any of the Mazinger death size, it's very much like that, how stuff will snap together. We'll scissors these out and then fold them as such. So you get a nice wide pair of wings. And I know that this will come off. Here we go. Well, let's go ahead and get this God Scrander off. Part that out so you can have it flat without the action base in there, or the adapters. And we're gonna kinda peel you out. And it's simply held in by one 3mm peg. On normal terms, you'll just rotate the tips of these fingers down. Nope, sorry, hit the camera. And let these just kind of chill in the back. Each arm, or extra finger I guess, bends this much. Has a nice full rotation here. That doesn't do it side to side. The rotation at the white point here. And the fingertip will rotate in. So you get what are effectively thrusters. Stash it right there. I'm going to set you aside for now. Because we need to get Mazinger back in place. So we're also going to go ahead and peel these out. And over here you can see that there's a very interesting hinge. You'll actually, you can see this, pop this out, take a nice firm grip, rotate it, and then pop it back in place. And once again on the other side. And more or less, it squeezes right in place, like so. Now it will kind of pull out a little bit pretty often while you're handling it. I don't realize that was off camera. So that is a point of something to just pay mind to. You can see it looks flawless as the arm rotates completely around. You can't really see unless you're up on it where the hinge is. Of course, you get a proper bicep flex, a little more than 90 degrees. Shoulder rotation is full. Fist rotation is on your regular ball and socket, but I'm not going to snap that out. Now the head is like a few old 90s toys wherein it is stashed inside the torso. Old people of my age, 90s kids, will remember some old Power Rangers toys where you flip a button, squeeze the legs, and the head will switch from Ranger to non-Ranger. And like so, Mazinger's head is stashed inside himself. You can give us a full exorcist twist. Some jangling about. And up here, you also get the jet pilot. Just like the current high-grade Mazinger Z Infinity, the piloter does separate. It's got the little wings on the side here, and you just plug that right into the brain pan. And because this looks silly, let's get these breast fire plates in place. As for leg articulation, right here, followed by the knee. Legs completely out to side. Minimal back kick. And a good, healthy front kick. Your feet's on a nice ball joint right here. I realize I keep watching the kit more so than I'm watching the viewfinder, making it very awkward when explaining things. There, further back, if you wish not to use the God Scrander, there is a plug that will get lost in my hand or fall on the floor. Place your bets now, ladies and gentlemen. Well, look at that, I got it in. Excellent. You go ahead and... Well, no, we can't because I don't block the hole. Let's get that back out. He has one last little accessory to go with. So we're going to go ahead and plug that back in. And wrap that around his waist. Sandwich those together. You can see from the transformation about how far all of your wings will fall. There's some little yellow points here that kind of were really hard to work with. I'm going to hang him by his wing for a second, because this doesn't fall all the way in unless you shove it, but that's wrong. So it's supposed to stick out a little bit during transformation, and you can pull it out and it'll kind of snap in place. That's your full extension. Get that on the other side. But if you're not mindful, you can pull too far, and you might catch a little bit of a gap in. Plug your rest of your tail back in. And lastly, because you can see that there's no regular action base adapter, you will have another adapter here. And with that out of the way, you're going to see... I'm going to take him off again, because I'm a genius and I don't script my reviews. You'll see the way that's shaped. You're going to get that right down in there. It'll kind of... It fits right into place, and it does create a little bit more separation in there, but that's the way it's supposed to be. And then bringing your action base back in, you plug that in just like before. So let's go ahead and see, for my first time, how well he is suspended on an action base. He is quite a bit front heavy. It does tend to lean, so you'll want to reach that back. You'll have it. Well, I'll see if I can show you. And you can see you've got to pull that back just to have him standing flat as such. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with any effect parts, as one would think, for the legendary Rocket Punch. This is not like the high-grade Mazinger that comes with effect parts, and even the cross-silhouette Mazinger Z has his little effect parts. Where'd he go? I got him right over here. Actually, since we're here, let's do some science. Let's see if we can't do some science right here on camera. As soon as I get this out. So, young Grandpa go over here. I'm going to pop out this fist. And on this end, it does fit. But you get nothing. Nothing from the other side. It doesn't quite fit in there. I forget how this is constructed, so I'm going to try to pull. That worked. So let's put this fist back in place. Second crisis, that doesn't fit. Nor does that. Alas, the SD cross silhouette effect part for the rocket punch does not fit. Unfortunately, I would have to actually take a very long and powerful moment to go up to and get the Infinitism's effect parts. So give me a moment to try to do that. So what we have is, well, I guess I should probably peel this back off now. We have the fist from Infinitism and the fist here. Fortunately, it may not work the same, but look. It fits in there. It's a little loose, but it does certainly fit in there for what it's worth to have that little bit of an effect part. And it's the same as having it stand there. There. Unfortunately, that's a little too loose for my taste, and I'm not going to go and ruin one effect part just for some talker. Actually, I just ran. But with all these extra parts hanging around, baby grandpa get in the picture, and so we here are going to go ahead and say, bankroll this boy. While the kit in itself is very good, there are absolutely much better Mazinger Z kits out there. We have the SD Cross Silhouette Mazinger Z, we have the Infinitism High Grade, there's an SD Cross Silhouette Mazinger Kaiser out there, and even though Mordroid left a bad taste in my mouth a few months ago, almost a year, they do make really good Mazinger kits. It is pretty impressive. This in itself is going to be a much harder find nowadays, and despite that the shiny gloss on that plastic is amazing, it makes it difficult to handle because it's a fingerprint net. I haven't but touched it with my bare hands but one time, and I was buffing that thing off for the next 10 minutes just to get that one fingerprint off there, which may or may not say anything about the cleanliness of my hands at the time of building, but that's neither here nor there. This, while it is good, I wouldn't go running out to find it, and especially going prices nowadays is going to make it incredibly hard to get that imported. But it's still good. There are only very few flaws in it, but you can get a whole lot better than this. You can do better. Rambling aside, I thank y'all for watching. Please stay tuned for the continued progress of Super Robot Month. And as always, SIEG Z.